Hello, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope we're all doing okay. This is the second time I have to record this because the first time I did it, my audio was muted. So I do appreciate myself for doing that. But today I wasn't actually going to talk about. I wasn't going to talk about anything on YouTube. I was just going to record and mute and edit the podcast that's coming out tomorrow. So go and check that out if you haven't already. But obviously, that's so naive of me because I thought that the Argentina game would have been the game of the group the round of group stage, and the shock of the century essentially. But hey ho, here we are, next day, next day, next dollar, and Germany have lost to Japan 2-1 with an incredible result. I think this on field World Cup on field is incredible, and I think it's one of the best that we've ever had off the field. Obviously, the geopolitical aspects of it and all the sort of bollocks around it as well is terrible, and it's probably the worst one that I've ever known, probably the worst one ever. But on the field, with all the on-field stuff and the fact that they've added the added-on times that sort of made the time wasting irrelevant, I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's amazing, and the shocks that we've had, yes, we've had a few nil-nils here and there, but the Argentina losing to Saudi Arabia yesterday and also today with Japan beating Germany. So we're going to go into the game. This, by the way, if we, I haven't got it up, but I had it on the last pod. Um, this is Japan's first ever win against Germany in a competitive fixture. They've only played each other 3 or 4 times, to be fair, but this is their first ever competitive win against Germany, which is incredible in itself. I think that, Japan as a nation, they are very underrated. And I think that they always turn up in the World Cup, obviously. And they always seem to make it past the group stage in a tough group, to be fair, with the likes of Spain. Costa Rica obviously didn't do too well. But with Germany, like Argentina yesterday, maybe they thought they could just turn up and beat them because they went 1-0 up with a Gundogan penalty. Obviously, Gonda fouled Rom on the in the box, and it was a bit of a soft one, to be fair. But you've got to take it, and he did slot it home. I know that City fans will be annoyed because he hasn't done that for City, as he hasn't actually scored a penalty, or if he hasn't, it's very very few. But we'll go through the Germany team right now. Manuel Neuer in goal, David Raum, Schlotterbeck, Rudiger, and Sule, with Kimmich and Gundogan, Musiala, Muller, Gnabry, and Kai Havertz. And on paper, to be fair, that's it's a very, very good mix of youngsters and experience with the likes of Thomas Muller, Neuer, and Rudiger, a spine of experience. And then all around it, you've got quality with energy and youth, especially with Musiala, who's probably had his best. It says a 6.0 there, but I think for a large portion, especially the first half, I think he was the best player on the pitch, and Serge Gnabry on the other side. So you can't say this isn't a full strength team. Like, you get the likes of France, who've got a lot of injuries, Spain, who are very much of an unknown team, England, obviously bottle it in the World Cup. You've got Argentina, who lost, and obviously today you've got Germany with a full strength team, and they still lost against Japan. And it's hard not to say that Japan didn't deserve this because when you look at the actual key moments in the game, obviously Maeda with the offside goal for Japan early on in the game, Gundogan scored, and then Havertz scored, which was just offside. I remember seeing it live and thinking, yes, that's just offside, fair play. For a second, I thought he gave it, and I couldn't believe it. But it just adds on to the fact that Germany lost in the 2018. They went out in the group stages, losing to another Eastern Asian country in South Korea, as well as the fact that they've only won one of the last 6 Nations League games as well, similar to England. But obviously, England won their game. Try and link it every time to England. It's coming on, mate. But yeah, I think that Germany are a real transition right now, which is a nice way of saying they're doing terrible, aren't they? I think that under Hansa Flick, he will get the time to provide his sort of style and his way of thinking and his way of playing. Obviously, under Joachim Low, he did have a lot of time. He was there from 2006 till he got stale a couple of years ago. Obviously, they went out in the group stage, like I said, didn't do too well in the Euros as well when England beat them in the quarterfinal. Obviously, I have to link it back to us again. But yeah, I think that ultimately with the second half subs Did that show Germany's naivety in the second half, and did it show the creativity and the foresight in the Japanese team to put them players on, like Asano and Doan, who both had scored and both came on in the second half? Usually you see a substitute and they don't really make an impact, but these Japanese players definitely made an impact. And they definitely deserved it. So hats off to them. And yes, that's all I have to really say about this game. I think that Germany should be fine, but ultimately it comes down to the game against Spain next. They obviously battered Costa Rica 7-0, and they have to beat Spain in their next game, or it just becomes a dead rubber, doesn't it, the last game? Because they will be ultimately out, because you can't see Japan not getting a point against this Costa Rica team. They do look really, really poor. But if you haven't already, like I said, please can you go and subscribe to the video. This one's a bit more concise than the last one. I think I went about 8 minutes, whereas this one's still 6, which is absolutely fine. Probably better for you listening to it. About 90% of you aren't subscribed. I don't know what that means, but if you can go and subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below what you thought about Germany today, and what you thought about Spain. Obviously, Canada and Belgium playing right now. Canada just missed a penalty, so I'm just going to watch that one in peace and not think about putting it on YouTube. But I do love the game, and I love the World Cup so far. Like I said, on the field, obviously off the field, leave that to the politicians, leave it all to the governments. On the field, it's becoming one of the best World Cups we know and we love. So I will see you soon. Check out the pod tomorrow if you haven't already checked it out. We do talk nonsense for about an hour. It's on Spotify as well, so go and check it out. Leave a like, leave a comment, like I said, and I will see you very soon. Cheers, guys. Peace.